Hello everyone, I'm Scott Kilpatrick, one of the original founders of RA Sushi. Ever since day one, RA's been involved with local charities in their communities. Rich Hallen, my original operating partner and longtime friend's nephew, Nicky Mailliard, was treated here at St. Jude. This hospital is incredible, and the research they do is shared worldwide with everyone, and no patient here ever pays anything for their care or their treatment or their food or their housing. And Nicky's Week is a way for us to help fund this hospital. So I'm really happy to share the story with you in Nicky's Week.
There's Nicky. Hey, Nick.
Yes?
What is today?
School day.
What day of school? What school are you going to?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten to St. Norbert. And this is your first day.
We liked the name Nicholas, and at the time we thought we were being so creative, but then in kindergarten I think about half the boys in the class are named Nicholas, but no, it's a great name.
It was April Fool's Day, and we see a lot of tarantulas here in Arizona and everything, and so I remember that Nicky wanted to pull a prank on my mom.
I told him that when I was little, I kept a pair of tennis shoes in the outside closet. One time I went to put my foot in it and there was a black widow spider and a cobweb in there.
He put a cotton ball in her shoe, and so when she stepped into her shoe, she thought it was a tarantula and she freaked out.
Oh, he caught me off guard with the spider.
What I'm excited about fourth grade is we get to use pens, and we get to do harder work than third grade, and a lot of stuff. And I hope that I have a good year and try to have good grades and do the best I can.
At age 13, he had made decisions and had prioritized his life in a way that I think most people never would consider at that age.
He would teach me so many things, like take one basketball, and now I really like it now, and it's one of my favorite things to do.
He taught me how to multiply before any of my teachers did.
With Nicky, what I was impressed with the first time I saw him is we just did a brief cognitive testing on him, and looking at that was like, wow, this kid's got to be a genius. I mean, his scores were some of the highest I'd ever seen.
Nicky was in a play. The story had been relayed that Nicky had a hard time reading some of the cue cards, and they were concerned that maybe he, as an adolescent, would have to have some glasses.
As Nicky was going through the eye exam, nothing the doctor could do with the lenses was improving Nicky's eyesight. I recall the doctor pushing the equipment aside and just actually physically looking into Nicky's eyes. And he asked Nicky to leave the room and wait for us in his waiting room. And the doctor looked at me and he said, "I think your son has a brain tumor."
My nephew perhaps has a brain tumor, and yeah, life takes a different shape very quickly.
This year I might get braces.
Oh, well, let's see your smile then. It's beautiful.
Well, Well, soon I'll be off.
Okay, we love you.
Bye.
Hope you have a great day, and remember, everyone's thinking about you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Nicky was referred to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
He was on the RT1 protocol, and the role I had in that is to do psychological evaluation, looking at his cognitive functioning and his memory and achievement scores as he's beginning treatment. One of the things that the protocol is trying to do is minimize damage to a healthy brain tissue while it is radiating the unhealthy brain.
He was diagnosed with an ependymoma brain tumor in the optic nerve area, which is close to his hypothalamus. I had to quit my job in order to take care of Nicky, and financially it wasn't going to be a burden on us to go to St. Jude.
Lisa could focus her efforts on Nicky, travel with Nicky, be with Nicky, and in a child's eyes, that's a medicine in itself.
I know anytime he had a problem that he wanted to speak to somebody outside the family, he went to Maggie. And she's very sincere and caring, wonderful, warm person. St. Jude's lucky to have her.
I said, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I'm going to be a doctor and I'm going to cure cancer. And he said it with such conviction there was never a doubt that he was going to do that.
And everything's been going good and tumor-wise, so.
Yeah. I love you, Nick.
Love you too.
Is there anything you want to say to the camera?
Well, just having my last year at Pope John and being in 8th grade just makes me proud to say, live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Or not.
He came back from treatment and really jumped back into life just as he experienced it before he was sick. He had a 4.0 grade point average. He went on camping trips with his Boy Scout troop. He played on the basketball team.
I was so happy for him. I was so excited for him to be getting on with his normal life because he deserved it.
Every 3 months, Nicky returned to St. Jude for routine scans. 15 months passed with no sign of tumor growth. Then, on August 9th, 2003, Lisa received a devastating phone call from Nicky's doctor.
You know, I can't imagine what Lisa went through having to go into that room and tell Nicky what the doctor had told her. I do know from knowing her and knowing Nicky's faith in her that she said all the right words.
First thing he said is, am I going to die? And to have to answer that question to a child who, at that point when you have a recurring brain tumor, the chances of dying are very great.
He never gave up faith that God was going to cure him, but he also said that he was not afraid to die if that didn't happen.
We weren't allowed to do any more radiation. That wasn't an option. He had had his life dose. St. Jude did give us different chemo options, and we tried the most successful one first, the ice treatment. That didn't work. And then we went on to various experimental drugs.
We found out it had metastasized down his spine, which was rare, as I understand it, but extremely serious.
He was then getting ready to go home, which would be going home finally from St. Jude. And I can remember just thinking, this can't be. This is not how it's supposed to go.
The night before Nicky passed, me and Kate, we wrote letters to him that he had the special notepad with an N on it, and we wrote letters on that. It says, "Dear Nicky, you're the best. I love you." From Luke.
Nicky, I love you so much. You rock my world. You are an angel. Love you. Love Kate.
He said he wanted to cure cancer. I think he's going to be. He's a part of the cure for brain tumors because of him saying, you need to learn more about it, do it to me. Okay. The radiation didn't work, you have an experimental chemotherapy you want to try, do it to me. I'm going to find a cure for cancer.
He wants to know that his life was part of that process in curing cancer, and we know that St. Jude will be the hospital that finds the cure to cancer.
St. Jude had really impacted not only Nicky's life, my life, but our family's lives. It felt like there was a message that needed to be explored, and that was, they're doing these great things for these kids. We've got a successful restaurant. How can we line these two together?
In 1997, Nicky's uncle, Rich Howland, and two close friends, Scott Kilpatrick and Ty Obata, founded a Scottsdale restaurant based upon a catchy concept, combined quality sushi with a hip ambiance.
Sushi back then was kind of a new thing, and so we said, hey, take this great food and this great experience, but let's make it better, and that was the birth of RA.
The idea caught on in a big way. Today, RA Sushi has grown into a national chain. Building on their success, the company's leadership felt a strong desire to give back. In 2005, RA made a commitment to partner with St. Jude, and Nicky's Week was born.
Hi there, how are you two doing today?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Have you two ever been to RA before?
Oh, most definitely. We come here quite often.
Okay, well, things are a little bit different here at RA this week. It's called Nicky's Week. It's our annual fundraiser for St. Jude. And you'll look at your menu there, the Nicky's Week menu. We have some great appetizers, we have some sushi rolls, and even some drinks. 100% of the proceeds from those go to St. Jude this week.
The execution of Nicky's Week is about education. It's about suggestive selling, but not suggestive selling of just menu items, but suggestive selling of information.
Treatments invented at St. Jude have helped push the overall childhood cancer survival rate from 20% when the hospital opened in 1962 to more than 80% today. We won't stop until no child dies from cancer.
I think about the children that are there and what a great cause that it is. And if I could help alleviate the pain of one family or one child, then I feel better about what I've done that 1 week.
Talk to your guests. Speak to them, educate them, and let them know the story of St. Jude.
Their reaction is like, wow, this is an unbelievable cause. Well, sure, I'll take any of those items. I'll take all those items. So once they know about it, they're willing to buy and willing to donate.
Here's your bottled water. Did you two get to decide on what you'd like to eat?
I believe so. We filled out the sushi order right over there for you.
Oh, perfect. All right, we've got one Viva Las Vegas and the Tootsie Maki. Great, that's gonna go to St. Jude.
The world just needs to know that Nicky wanted to make a difference. He wanted to be the one to cure cancer. He was only given 13 years to do that, but because he was willing to give his whole self into it, he is a part of the cure for cancer.
Nicky dedicated his life to finding a cure for childhood cancer, and now it's our turn to step up and help him fulfill that goal. This week is very important. Let's make it a huge success. Please tell your friends and family and have them tell their friends and their families to come in. Share the story of St. Jude and what a wonderful organization it is. And let's do our part to raise as much money as we can to help this continue on. Thank you all very much for your help and your support this year.